Snow White and the Dwarf Islands. Once upon a time, in the heart of a glittering winter wonderland, there lived a fair and fearless princess named Snow White. An enchantress of the frost winds, she was known for her kind heart and indomitable courage. One day, as she played in the frosty gardens, an urgent message arrived from the 7 dwarfs: Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, and Dopey, her trustworthy friends. "Snow White, we need your help," cried Doc, his voice trembling. "Our beloved Dwarf Islands are in grave danger. A wicked spell, cast 1,000 years ago, has captured our families, and they remain prisoners amongst ferocious, fearsome beasts hidden deep within the mysterious cave." Without a moment's hesitance, Snow White donned her cloak as white as snow and gathered her magical staff, promising to bring peace back to Dwarf Islands. The 7 dwarfs, each with their own special abilities, stood faithfully by her side. The journey to the mysterious cave was fraught with danger. Through dense forests and icy streams, they ventured, ever watchful for the eerie shadows lurking beyond the trees. The path was twisted and tangled, but Snow White led on. As the company approached the cave, a hush fell upon the earth. The entrance loomed large and ominous, glowing darkly under the baleful moon. Gusts of chilling wind seemed to whisper warnings, and even the bravest dwarf, Grumpy, faltered slightly. "Do not fear," said Snow White, her eyes alight with a magical glint. "Our courage is stronger than any beast within, and love for our families will guide us true." With a final glance over her shoulder, Snow White led them into the cave. Deep within its belly, shadows danced and the sound of creature growls echoed ominously. The walls gleamed with icy crystals, casting reflections of their determined faces. Having ventured far, the group stumbled upon a vast cavern. A host of beasts slumbered. Wolves with eyes like burning embers and dragons with scales of liquid silver lay curled like smoke. At the center of it all, a fierce dragon stood guard over a glimmering crystal cage that held their captive families. With bated breath, Snow White approached the beasts, her presence stirring them. The gentle Happy, with a soothing song from his flute, lulled the smaller creatures back to sleep. Grumpy and Bashful worked quickly to unfasten the crystal cage. Sleepy conjured dreams to keep the dragon at bay. But just as freedom seemed within their grasp, the dragon awoke, its eyes blazing bright as the sun. Roaring, it prepared to take flight and defend its treasure. At that moment, Snow White raised her magical staff, which shone with pure light, blinding the beast and momentarily freezing it in place. Harnessing the dwarf's courage, Snow White chanted an ancient spell. "O spirits of kindness and light, shield our hearts and bring us might." The strength of their unity forged a protective shield that encased them within glimmers of hope. The dragon's fiery rage was no match for the compassion that fueled Snow White's magic. Slowly, its anger subsided, and when the light within the cave diminished, the dragon saw not its prisoners but friends offering safety. Gently, the dragon nodded, releasing the crystal cage. With joyous tears, the dwarfs embraced their freed families. Together with the dwarfs and the now friendlier beasts, Snow White secured the safety of the entire island. The once fearful cave was transformed into a beacon of friendship and harmony. Snow White waved to the dwarfs, promising to always be there when needed. As she traveled back to her frosty kingdom, her heart held the strength of unity she had discovered, for she knew it was unity that would forever light their way in the darkest of days. And so, the Dwarf Islands were safe, and they all lived happily ever after. The end. Please like and subscribe.